Hey there, how are you all doing today? The last time we were together, I told you a little bit about Marie. I told you we were going to talk about Marie's story as it relates to the power of the mind and this miracle mind moment. So let's continue with that. If you remember, I talked about Marie. This is from 1652, her story, and it is from the 48 Laws of Power. This is the 44th of the 48 laws. And if you'll remember, Marie was not the prettiest girl in the family. She was the least pretty of her five sisters, so much so that her uncle and her mom wanted to hide her away. They wanted her to join a convent. They were embarrassed by her looks, and they did not want her to be a part of their family. They wanted her to basically disappear. Marie refused to do that. And not only did she refuse to do that, she decided that she was just as much royalty as her sisters. She had just as much right to live an amazing life as her sisters. So I told you that three things jumped out at me when I read or listened to Marie's story. And the first one was never let anyone else decide your worth for you. The second one that I wanted to share, the thing that jumped out for me that I wanted to share with you is that you have to do the work to experience the promise. Now, the promise for Marie was that she believed she was royalty and that she could live a royal life and be the queen to a king. And she chose as her would-be king, King Louis the 14th. And when she met him, he was not yet a king. But she did the work to experience the promise that she had already embedded in her and believed was her promise. And her promise again was to be queen. So she learned to speak the language, if you will, of royalty. She learned to act like royalty. She learned several languages. She did the things that the commoner, if you will, would not necessarily have done because they didn't have the time to do it. You know, commoners have to work. So she learned several languages. She learned several musical instruments. She learned to be a great horseback rider. She learned when she met the would-be king, she learned what he liked. So she learned his language. So that's what she did. She did the work to experience the promise. Now, my question to you, and the question I had for myself when I listened to this story was, am I doing the work for my promise? I know what my promise is. What is your promise? Your promise to yourself, your dream that has been placed in your heart, your spirit might be to be the landlord or to be the owner of many, many buildings so that you could help to give housing to those in need and give them good housing. And your promise in your spirit might be that you would start a not-for-profit organization so that you could change the lives of thousands, if not millions of children or women or families. Your promise in your spirit might be that you are going to write a bestseller or that you are going to sit on the Supreme Court of the United States. What is your promise? When you know your promise, you know your promise might be so big that you don't want to share it with anyone. Your promise might be so big that you don't think it is attainable under your own power. But you know your promise. You know the one that you dream about, think about, only to yourself, that you might have shared with a small number of people, or that again, you may not share with anyone. What is in your heart, in your spirit, to achieve, to attain? And once you are comfortable knowing that you know that you know that that is your promise, are you doing the work to achieve and attain and experience the promise? If it's to be a Supreme Court judge, are you applying yourself to your study so that you could be a fabulous attorney? Are you applying yourself so that you can go to the best law school? It doesn't matter what age you are. If that's still your promise and you're 40 years old and you still want to do that, then you haven't even gone to law school, it's not too late. If your promise is that you want to start an organization that changes the lives of children and women or families of the incarcerated or whatever it is, are you learning how to start that 501c3, that not-for-profit organization? Are you doing the study, the work, gathering the information to get you ready and set you up to start that organization? Are you employing your accountability partners? Are you getting a coach, a business coach, a life coach, a mental wealth coach, which is what I do, to help make sure that your mindset is lining up with your promise so that you can walk that out? Are you doing the work to experience the promise? Because and only you know that. You can be honest with yourself. If you're not honest with anybody else, if you're doing it, great. Put the pedal to the metal with your PowerMations and add some turbo, some fuel to that, so that you can accelerate your trajectory toward that promise. If you're not doing it, and again, be honest with yourself. If you're not honest with anyone else, then what do you have to do to make that happen? You know, we talked about having a life speaker in your corner, someone who's going to remind you of what you want to do, remind you of your work, remind you of your strength, stand in the gap for you, tell you that you can do it, remind you that you are worthy of the royalty that's been placed in your heart to do. So make sure that you're doing the work to experience the promise. You know, James Brown said in Mind Power, if you don't work, you don't eat. So make sure you do the work so that you can eat from the feast that you deserve to eat. Do the work. It's okay. Do the work. So the last one, I want to go finish this up real quick for you. I told you I had 3. Oh, I apologize. I want to give you a power statement for your for doing the work. All right, let's see. I love my work. I am making a difference. I am greatly prospered by my work, as are my family and my community. So use that one. Remember, we stand in the mirror when we do our power, when we say our power statements. Remember, we write them on 3x5 cards and we take them with us and we look at them throughout the day. We do them in the morning when we first wake up. We do them in the evening as we're going to sleep, because that's when your subconscious mind is wide open and ready to accept the good stuff, the good seed that you are planting in fertile soil. You have to think anyway. Your subconscious mind is always working. Your subconscious mind does not do jokes. Remember, I've told you that before. So don't joke around, oh, I don't mean it, I don't deserve it. Well, the subconscious mind doesn't do jokes. So you don't do jokes, not when it comes to that. Laughter is fabulous, but not when you're talking about yourself and what you're worthy of, what you're capable of, or anything like that. Pay attention to what you say to yourself. And if it's not all good stuff, then change it. If you're not listening to good stuff and reading good stuff and watching good stuff, change it so that you can manifest good things in your life based on, garbage in, garbage out. So make sure you don't put garbage in so that you are not experiencing garbage. So number 1 is don't let anyone tell you your worth for you. Number 2 is you have to do the work to experience the promise. And the last thing that came to me, and you may get something else from it, by all means, you might see something that I didn't see, but the last one is don't give up. Don't quit. Don't stop. You know what? I don't think I mentioned this to you, but when Marie moved with her mom and sisters in with her uncle, she was a preteen or like 13 years old. She did not meet the would-be king or the soon-to-be king, King Louis XIV, until she was 18. So all of that time, while she had naysayers in her ear telling her that she couldn't, she wouldn't, she didn't, she don't, she won't, she can't, from her uncle, from her mom, from her siblings, from her sisters making fun of her, from people dismissing her, she had all of that going on. Even as a teenager, she was still speaking life over herself. She did not give up on her dream. You do not give up on your dream. She continued to speak life over herself no matter what anyone else was saying. You got to keep going and keep speaking life over yourself. You know what? Fall forward. If you fall down with your dream, if you fall down with your goals, if things don't look like they're going your way, you cannot give up. You have to remember, I always like to say, burn the boat so you can take the island. If you cut off your excuses, then you got to keep moving forward. And you know what? Perfection is a myth. It doesn't exist. Do not wait to be perfect to go for what you want to go for. If you want to build a group of women or families that you want to impact, and you don't feel like you got it all together, or you don't feel like you're the best speaker, or you don't feel like you're the prettiest person or the most handsome person in the room, who cares? Let your people grow with you. Not only are you growing as you're going, they're seeing that, well, she didn't stop. I don't have to stop either. So you get to be the example of what it looks like of growing forward and falling forward and doing whatever it takes to keep moving toward your dream and toward your goal. Nobody pops out of the womb being perfect at what they're doing. Thurgood Marshall did not pop out being this fabulous attorney. So don't worry about that. Oprah Winfrey did not pop out, and as a adolescent, or as a young girl of 2 or 3, she wasn't the spokesperson that she is now. Tyler, we could go on and on. All of these people who are great now, including LeBron James, or it doesn't matter. Pick one. They had to grow and practice and be until they were. Act as if, keep doing the work, keep showing up, don't give up. You know, the poem says, rest if you must, but don't you quit. If you need to rest, that's when you call your accountability partner, your corner man, that like Muhammad Ali had, to be in your ear, reminding you that you can float like a butterfly, you can sting like a bee. Don't give up. Rest if you have to, but even while you're resting, get some positive enforcement. Call in the troops to hang in there with you and help you to remember your why and press forward toward the mark so that you can get there. Continue to do your powerations. Continue to speak life. Continue to read your why and focus on what the dream that's been placed in your heart is, and go forward. Like the boat has been burned, and if you don't go forward to take the island, then you just gonna die right there on the beach. So you have to move forward. Don't give up. Don't give in. Don't stop. Even if you faint, sit down, drink some water, catch your breath, and while you're catching your breath, you remind yourself that I was born for this. I was made for this. I have greatness in me. There's nothing that can stop me except me, and I refuse to be stopped. Speak life over yourself like you are the champion that you are. Whether you believe it or not, the more you speak it, the more you will become it. So I do have a power statement for staying the course. I was built for this. Remembering all the promises that have been placed in me, all the good that has been placed in me keeps me focused and energized. The victory is already mine. Again, I was built for this. Remembering all the promises that have been placed in me keep me focused and energized. The victory is already mine. So guys, you know what we do? We put it on a 3x5 card. We tuck it in our purse, our pocket, our planner. If you take lunch, I don't know who does that, your lunch bag, whatever you make sure that that's with you all day, so you can pull it out if you're feeling discouraged, if you're feeling exhausted, if you feel like you can't go another further, pull it out and read it. Read or recite it when you first wake up in the morning, your eyes pop open. Oh, thank the Lord, I'm still here. It's going to be a wonderful day. And then recite your powermation at night as you're falling off to sleep. Oh, it was a good day. I am so thankful that it was a good day and I made it through this day and I impacted, I changed people's lives today. And then say your powermation. Your subconscious mind is fertile ground when you first wake up and as you're falling off to sleep. You want to plant good seed into fertile ground. I'm going to repeat this until it becomes a part of you, because it's already a part of you, but you need to know it so that you can own it and make it work for you. Get in your mirror, recite your power statement, your powermation in your mirror as you're looking at yourself in the mirror, in the eyes, so that it anchors in your spirit. Say it like you mean it. Get your power stance. Say it like there is no other option. Accept it as your truth. And then say it in the morning in your mirror, and any other time you can get in that mirror and look yourself in the eye while you're telling yourself you're beautiful, you deserve great things. Read that power statement. I was born for this. I was made for this. I was made for success. You deserve it. Your family deserves it. Your community deserves it. Your children deserve it. Your nieces, your nephews. People deserve and need and are waiting to see you succeed and do great things, because there's something about us excelling as individuals that gives other people the permission, if you will, to excel in their lives. A lot of times people need an example. Why not you? All right, guys. So that is Marie's story. It's a powerful story, and there are so many nuggets in it that we can use to positively impact our lives and the lives of others. So I hope that this helped you. I hope that you are enlightened and encouraged and empowered and inspired by it. And I will look forward to talking with you soon. Thank you for sharing some of your time with me. That was your Miracle Mind moment for today. Have a great day. Bye.